Garrett, Luke, if you don't watch the new Lords of the Fallen gameplay demo, I'm gonna do absolutely nothing about it. Keep watching. Damn it, it worked. It worked. I actually did want to look at that. Let's see. Did I miss members stream yesterday? Didn't see it pop up. No, you did not. We had, I don't know if I should actually go into it. We had like a family thing kind of pop up. So nothing serious, but we had a little family thing pop up. So we took care of that. By the way, just so everybody knows, we're going to go a little bit shorter than usual today, just because I am working on a couple of games for review. And so I have to put some time in. And because the games haven't come out yet, I obviously can't.
It is guarded
like,
by Pieta. She
can't stream them.
Renewal, one of the game's early boss encounters. We must triumph against her in order to proceed with our holy charge to restore radiance to the 6 beacons of the Sentinels.
Yeah, restore that radiance.
At Year's Uprising.
When are they going to release a fantasy game that's just like straight up, this is Bob, he's the god of everything. And then Tim is over there, he's the god of the underworld. Oh, Becky's over there, she's in charge of the oceans. Like, everything now is like Aldor and Muckduck and Gilbledorf and everybody has really complex names. When are we going to get just simple names?
Oh, holy Aureus, by your radiance grant me the strength to continue to endure these dark days, to lay bare the path to salvation.
Mervyn, yeah, exactly, Mervyn.
For me, a stranger, a betrayal made flesh, and one I cannot brook.
Melee, magic, and ranged abilities are seamlessly interwoven. Alongside standard attacks, you can choose between catalysts, bows, crossbows, or throwables, mapping up to 4 additional magic or range skills to your controller.
Dude, it looks good.
Access. This rapidly speeds up combat and reduces the need to swap between options.
Good parries.
As with many of the imposing bosses you'll encounter.
This is one of those games that would be really, I mean, they'd really benefit from just like a raw video. I'm hoping one day YouTube does that. They offer like, you know how Tidal, the music streaming service, allows you to stream in master quality? I want that for video, but through like YouTube, where YouTube allows you to stream the video in its native quality without any transcoding, nothing. 4K gets you higher megabit per second, so it gets you a little better quality. But even this, like, we're streaming in VP9. But it's just, it's not quite there, fam. It's not quite there. I want better fidelity, because all of these smoke effects, this really detailed stuff that has very fine and minute movement, it looks like crap when it's compressed, but then you play the game and it looks tremendous. But it's just because YouTube transcodes and squishes all the detail. Like, even if it was something where it's like pay an extra $10 a month and you can stream in the like native quality, I would pay it. But then you'd have to wait for everybody to start uploading in high quality. But I mean, I think that'd be great. People would eventually start doing it.
Has 2 very distinct stages. Death is not necessarily the end in Lords of the Fallen. When slain in Axiom, the realm of the living, you'll resurrect in Umbral, the realm of the
in Jibblejop, the realm of the dead. That's actually kind of cool.
Dead. We now have one final chance to survive.
That was fluid too. Dude, it's looking tight. It really is. I'm impressed. I don't know if I'm the only one that's ever wondered this. What will happen when somebody comes along and introduces like a hyper realistic game like this, where like you can trip on cobblestone, like, and it's not your fault? Imagine if that happened when you're playing a game like this. You're taking on the boss, you're like one hit away from winning, and then right as you swing up, you twist your ankle and fall. Dude, I think it'd be so funny. People would stream the crap out of that game. I think it'd be hilarious. Or you can just like break your arms like Deadpool, where he just has the limp noodle arms after that. I think that'd be awesome. I'd play it. Slow dying animation. The wings look great. Look at that subsurface scattering, the backlighting, the little translucency. Oh, baby.
Though few and far between, these flowers denote special patches of ground upon which we can spawn a resting point, known as a vestige seedling. These come at a significant resource cost, however, and we can only spawn one at a time. The realms of Axiom and Umbral exist in parallel. Each world features its own unique pathways, enemies, characters, and, of course, treasures. We can now use this crafted vestige to return to Axiom.
So now he's back in the land of the living. See, at least this has some like really unique ideas. I can appreciate this. I'm playing a game right now I can't talk too much about, but it's very similar to another game that released, was it earlier this year or last year? I don't remember. I think it was earlier this year. And frankly, it does a lot of things better than that. It's kind of what that game wanted to be, but it's frustrating me that more games don't like take their direct inspiration from a game or a franchise and then really tweak it, really do something different. It seems like there's all of these Soulsborne clones out there that are just Soulsborne but slightly worse, you know, with a different coat of paint. I love seeing versions like this that introduce at least some new ideas. I appreciate that. Like, come on, look at that floor. You're telling me you would not, while fighting somebody with a sword, accidentally trip and twist your ankle or like break your leg or something? Wouldn't that be so funny? Like you accidentally step in this hole and your leg just goes all the way through. You're just a torso sticking out. Oh man, I would play the crap out of that game. Hyper realistic floorboards. Oh man. To be honest, that's how it feels when I play these games. Get out of here.
We can peer into the secondary realm
at
any time by raising the umbral lamp. Though be advised.
I don't remember this. Was this like 2 dimensions a thing in Lords of the Fallen 1? I don't think I ever played Lords of the Fallen, but my roommate at the time did. Played it a little. I don't know if he finished it. It was a thing. I just, man, because it's cool. I like it. It's really interesting.
This also renders you vulnerable to its inhabitants. We will now use the lamp to cross over to Umbral, though doing so will consume one of our 2 lives, and it isn't so easy to return to the world of the living.
Oh god.
Many enemies require a different approach to combat. This mendacious visage, for example, is only vulnerable when attacked from the back, or when it reveals its true form.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that. Wukong was good enough. that I think like on a sale it makes sense. But Wukong also just like artistically was so bland, and the whole game, like most of the levels, it felt like you were running around on a giant chicken nugget. It just... This, at least in terms
You'll
of
also
level
come
design, is
across
really
permanent
interesting.
vestiges on your travels. As well as using these to return to Axiom, you can also level up your stats at these locations.
Okay.
Three schools of sorcery can be mastered: Rogar, Radiant, and Umbral, each specializing in a different area of the arcane and requiring a different catalyst to cast. Our current build is adept in Rogar, characterized by devastating pyromantic attacks.
This guy beefy, dude. Mad beef. Ooh.
An age-old borough built into the very cliff face, Pilgrim's Perch typifies the verticality of Moonstone.
Never heard of the term
There
giant
are
chicken nugget.
myriad pathways.
Dude, there's a
stretching both
handful of
above
moments like that. By the way, I kept thinking of Wolong when you guys were describing Black Myth Wukong. Wolong has multiple levels that look kind of like chicken nuggets. Black Myth Wukong looks good, but because we just don't know anything about the studio, I have no idea if it's actually going to be a decent game when all is said and done. I mean, Wolong had some interesting boss fights. There's like this one. This one was kind of trippy and cool with all the crazy hair. Like, I had a good time with it. It's a little clunky though. It was an interesting combat system though, from what I remember just like a few short months ago. But yeah, if you're looking for a game like that, it's worth picking up, especially if you can get it on sale. But it wasn't also on Game Pass. My brain trying to differentiate the two. Well, yeah, so just Wolong, Fallen Dynasty, and Black Myth. I get these mixed up all the time because I just glance at chat and then I'm like, oh yeah, Wulong, Wukong. Okay, same thing. Not the same thing. Very, very different. Because you'll see Wolong was this. Oh no, recent reviews are mostly negative. Oh no, what did they do? Did they break it? But this was it. And honestly, it was pretty tough. Some people were saying it's harder than Elden Ring and Dark Souls 3. I don't know about that, honestly. Like, because Elden Ring, for example, had so many more bosses, I felt like if you ever hit your head against the wall with one boss, you could just move and go to a different one. And that was like a get out of jail free card, basically. But this one, there's definitely challenge. I think I settled into it. It clicked with me at one point, and then most of the boss fights got pretty easy. But like, look at this, 17,000 reviews. 17,000 reviews. And it's widely regarded that the PC port is terrible. The PC port for this is terrible. I remember we tried mouse and keyboard support and it's laughable. It's like so bad. But like, these games sell gangbusters. Okay, 17,000 reviews. Like, a successful game can have 1,000 reviews. 17,000 reviews is silly. How many reviews? Just like, yeah, Sekiro is like also stupid successful. These have like hundreds of thousands. That's a lot. But this is Black Myth Wukong, which is the game from that new Chinese studio, which who knows when it's coming or if it's launching. Or, I have no idea. I think it's later this year, maybe. Graphically, it looks really, really good. But like we said, this is an unknown studio. We've never seen them do anything before, so we have no idea if this is going to hold up. Or how this even works, like, in the context of a video game. Like, something like this can look really cool when watching gameplay footage, but when you actually play it, it could be totally, totally different. But what we do know is what we have here is Purdy. So that's the difference. He took my thing!